This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show.
I'm me. Are you
me.
you? Okay.
And I'm Brian. Let's just swap today.
Let's just swap. Except I need your script if we're going to swap.
No, I can't show you that, silly.
Oh, okay.
You can't see all the things. You don't get
spoilers.
To know.
Can you hear my beard?
I mean, I can't right now, but I hope I can later. You do it again? Help, I'm Brian's beard. Get me off of this place.
Fucking, I've needed to shave for like a week now, man.
I've been doing a thing where I shave moments before I go get a haircut so that the side, I can't show you, the like side blends into the stubble when they shave it down. But then I didn't ask her to do this, but lately she's been then taking a straight razor to like the sideburns. So then it's just nothing and then stubble. And I'm like, I had a plan. Why did you do this? She's been ruining everything.
Now this is where my evil plan to get you shaving with a razor comes in.
I had that thought the other day because the last time I tried to shave my face with an actual razor was in 2014. So 10 years ago. And at that time, I wasn't even able to bring it to my face. Like I was just too nervous and afraid and whatever of like, obviously as soon as this touches my skin, I'm just going to rip my face open with a knife. And, now I feel like I could do it. I do it to my nipples. It's fine. I could do it to my face. You know?
Now, me on the other side of that, I wouldn't do that to my nipples. Fuck that shit.
Well, let's say it's the perimeter. No one needs to know this information. This is episode 119 of Jesus fucking Christ. This is a lot of episodes that we've done. The more that I say, there's like 119. That can't be right.
We're gonna have to do something big for like 150 or 200.
Yeah, something. We did episode 100 was the Flash episode, and we had Jordan Newman and all that stuff. But it was all accidental. We didn't plan it to be episode 100. It just happened to be. I don't know if I can. I mean, I can technically, I guess, look ahead and do the math on what episode 200 would be, and just see if it'll just be some shit nothing episode. Yeah,
but we'll do something special for it.
Yeah. We'll be naked.
Yeah.
More than we usually are, because we are right now, too.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to shave our heads.
Oh, yeah, with straight razors.
While naked. Yeah.
I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel, and I'm here to show my good buddy, Brian.
And I'm Brian?
The entire... Yeah, I think so. The last time I checked, you are. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. I'm going to show him the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time in the controversial Airdate order, so that he may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s.
Were you there?
When we started this podcast.
Listener?
I was. Many of you weren't, I'm sure. At the time of this recording, STAS
10:01 a.m.
on Max.
My dog.
10:01? Wow. It's available on DVD and Blu-ray also.
My other dog.
Your other dog. If you'd like to follow along, you can If you'd like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly/watchdcau. The link is in the show notes. Okay, Brian.
Okay, James.
We're going to watch an episode today called The Late Mr. Kent. Prediction was that it was all about all the times that Clark Kent is late to work and people are like, where is he? And
I can't wait to see
that's wrong,
this.
But because you were saying you figured it wasn't in reference to him dying, because that would be, why would they do that or whatever. So you're trying to figure out like meanings
of the word late.
The phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pregnant now. Anyway, this first aired Saturday, November 1st, 1997 at 8:30 a.m. on Kids WB. So it's 20 days after our last episode, Prototype. This aired at number 35 and was produced number 32 right after Prototype as well. I don't know why they stuck those as buddies together.
Why not?
Why not? This is written by Stan Berkowitz, who previously wrote The Way of All Flesh, Two's a Crowd, The Promethean, Brave New Metropolis, World's Finest Part 3, and co-wrote The Hand of Fate with Hilary J. Bader. Directed by Kenji Hachizaki, who previously directed the both of the Metallo episodes, The Way of All Flesh and Action Figures.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not a hint, though, weirdly. Music is by Christopher Carter, who previously composed Lockup, Catwalk, Fun and Games, A Little Piece of Home, Tools of the Trade, Buffed Puh Part 1, Identity Crisis, and Solar Power. And animation is by TMS. That's the wrong button. Previously animated 7 episodes of btas Spooky and the Sega CD cutscenes as well.
The animation is going to be so bad, it's scary.
Oh my God. Oh no. Yeah, not the best one. As well as 14 episodes of S-Test so far. Okay, those are the things I say. Now, if you'd like to buy us a coffee, a Yoppie beverage, to support the show, we'll give you a shout-out in an upcoming episode, and we'll also do a push-up for every $1. So send us coffee for our health and your entertainment.
Think about it.
There's a link in the description.
Think about it. It's your content tax.
You better think. Think about how many Yoppie bevs sending me. Oh, think.
Buy us beverage. Buy a beverage.
Buy us coffee. Today's Yoppie Bevs. This is our most recent one on the list, so we got to get some more Bevs in here. But it's from Kyle Naranya. Enjoy the cups of Joe on me. Do either of you know why it is called a cup of Joe?
Because Joe's in there.
No, it's Joe. They named it after our friend Joe. Clearly, I think it's some military thing or something. I don't know, man.
We could Google it, but you could too while we're doing push-ups.
Yeah, Kyle, why would you ask us? We don't know this. 10 push-ups? Okay, all right.
Okay.
We do it.
Oh, God, I rolled over my headphone cable. Oh, God.
1 Joe, 2 Joe, 3 Joe, 4 Joe, 5 Joe, 6 Joe, 7 Joe, 8 Joe, 9 Joe, 10 Joe.
Push-ups 3, doggy push-ups 4, doggy push-ups 5. Doggy push-up 6. Oh, there goes the dog. Regular push-up 7. Regular push-up 8. Regular push-up 9. Regular push-up 10.
What zany thing were you saying?
Well, it was doggy push-ups because I got down on the floor and Rose is like, I'm here.
I lick your face now.
Yeah. And then so I was doing doggy push-ups and then she left and so I had to switch back to regular push-ups.
Oh, man. Non-doggy push-ups?
Yeah.
Those are the worst, man. What a depressing way to segue into the next part of the podcast.
Gotta go watch an episode about Clark Kent running late.
That's what it's about, for sure. Here we go.
We got backup discs somewhere. There. Walker's deliveries could be on these, along with 1 million others.
It looked like I was going to lose some sleep after all.
Hello?
Hey, score one for the sucker.
Kent?
I found Walker's alibi. It's all here on a little computer disk.
You can clear Walker? What? How?
Sorry, Lois. I gotta make a quick trip to the governor. You can read all about it in the afternoon edition.
Three, 2, 1.
I officially have the clap.
Yeah. Congratulations.
That we trick everyone that we bring on into getting the clap. It's a really funny prank we play.
Is it even called that anymore?
I don't know. Did we discuss already what was that gonorrhea? Was that what that one was?
We've discussed
We're
it
off
all.
to a great start
We've
here.
been through them all at some point. Yeah.
Hey everybody, we got a Ryan Hipp in Virtual House.
He has a Quest for Camelot background. I don't remember the name of the double dragon, and I feel like a fake fan of Quest for Camelot.
It's your and mom.
Oh my god.
Jamie, we need to work on your accuracy of those buttons.
I rearranged some of them because I'm an idiot. So I needed to make room for a new one that I'll play later in this show, but that Brian hasn't even heard. Nobody's heard it yet.
Oh my god!
Now
It's a brand new song.
No, it's a. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything about it. Look, Ryan, you're here. I'm going to have to enunciate Ryan and versus Brian. I'm just going to call him Brick the whole time. Is that going to be helpful to the listener? Yeah, okay. But Ryan, you have to tell us what happened in this episode after I play this song.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, before you do that.
Yeah.
Let's do a bit.
Okay.
Good evening, Big Pussy! How are we doing tonight? All right. It's great to be back in town. And we are in town because we have a new album out. It's called Euphoria. We'd love to do the first single we put to radio off the new album. This is called Sin Your Sauce!
If you're wondering, Synup, what you just watched, Synup, take a listen to the synopsis, the shortened summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Thank you.
I'm just imagining being at a show where someone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this show. Are you ready?" And then it's just like, "Do."
Yeah.
And everyone's like on stage being all quiet and doing little jazz hand dances.
No, there's this thing I've thought of where it's like Shania Twain doing like a hardcore metal festival. And she's opening up with Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and you know how it starts with the
Kick it.
But it starts exactly the same, and so it does the now let's go, motherfucker! And everyone goes ape shit. But the rest of the song is exactly the same, and people are just losing their fucking minds.
Ryan, you don't have to imagine Shania Twain doing this. You are capable of making this happen.
We have it on recording.
Oh my god!
I was thinking about just finding a metal band. You know, like you can.
Well,
you can make it
I mean,
happen.
right here, got James Strecker on the bass, Brian Manili on the drums, Peter Lesperance on guitar. And I'm Gary.
The one guitar note that I could have played instead. Okay, Ryan, you have to tell us what happens in this episode. Ready, go.
This Saturday morning cartoons opens the way all of them should, with a funeral.
Yes.
And we don't see the title of the show. We just get the credits, and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then Funeral Man's doing funeral thing, and then Superman starts doing voiceover, and it's fucking awesome because the script of this is great.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Oh, this fucking funeral's for Clark Kent." That's the line he says in the show.
And then he drops the
Fucking
mic or
funeral
what?
was for Clark Kent, but I couldn't let them know that was fucking me.
And then it cuts to something else, and that's when the title should be appearing. But I watched it on Max, and they don't have the title.
I don't think
on
it's
the
there
version on
ever,
Max.
yeah.
Because you're supposed to be like, what the fuck's the title of the episode? But if you see the title of the episode, you know who the fuck the funeral's about.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's Wonderwall. And then he's interviewing wrongly convicted black man, because this is, of course, superhero escapism. Nothing to do with our real life.
World, no, nothing.
Yes. Clark believes him, and no one else does, which doesn't reflect well on Lois and Jimmy when they're like, "Hey, everyone knows he did it." It's like, "Oh, fuck you guys."
That was a little
And Clark is like, "Okay, well, I gotta find something." And then he looks over and he's like, "Pizza, yeah!" And so he goes to the pizza parlor, and he gets the Deus Ex floppy disk, and it has the evidence. And then he calls Lois. It's like, "Hey, you racist piece of shit! I got the evidence."
How? I don't get to tell you. I'm not telling you.
And so he goes to do the thing that you do with evidence, the evidence thing. But then the car goes kabloomers. And then he goes off the cliff. And then he goes in the ocean, and then it does the thing it did the other time where you have part Superman suit, part nice dress suit.
Yeah.
When are we getting that action figure?
Yeah.
It's happened twice. That's more than most of those action figures they actually made.
I was putting up a bunch of like all of my loose action figures, finally displaying them on a little shelf, and a bag of them were from a fan that had just sent us stuff, and I hadn't opened that bag yet. And one of them was a figure that I knew existed but never seen before, which was it's just Superman, but he has like oversized Clark Kent clothes that you can clip onto like the front of like his chest and his pants and stuff. But it was missing the pants, so now I just have Superman wearing a really big dress shirt. And it has
that reminds me of two things.
Yeah.
That reminds me of two things. One, I meant to comment about. I think that Superman you've got behind you.
Yeah.
For listener. Yeah. There is a Superman animated series bust where he's got like barbed wire or Pamela Anderson wrapped around him.
Yes.
And is that the same thing that's in Jack Frost where they're like panning in the kid's room? And it's that, but it has a Batman head for no reason?
Oh, man.
You've seen this, right?
Yeah, well, I've
seen
the movie,
Jack Frost,
but
and
I don't remember this exact detail. I'll have to look.
There is an S-Test Superman bust where he's got like the chains or the Pamela Anderson around him, and then it's the New Batman Adventures Batman head on it, just for some reason.
That's bizarre. I have no idea.
Yes.
Yeah. I know there was a bus that was like the two of them back to back. You turned it around. It was Batman. The other side was Superman. Maybe they swapped
the two of them
heads.
kissing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other thing was I had a shit ton of Batman and Robin shit as a kid. And one of the figures was a George Clooney and like a chest piece that's like the Batman armor thing, and then you put a little piece on top, and it's like a Batman head with the cape.
Yeah.
But that you put it on top of George Clooney, but it's George Clooney's head has to go down into his body yes. The real George Clooney can do that, by the way, little known fact.
He's turtly enough for the Turtle Club, I hear. Yeah.
So he comes out of the he comes in the water and then comes out of the water.
That fisherman couldn't see me coming. I had to hide it in the water.
But you're already wearing a suit. No one would see. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, well, fishermen might see me and this ruins everything.
The line he said was like, I couldn't let him know my secret. And Brian said, what, that Superman drives cars?
Yeah, because the guy, like, maybe he heard a car, like, smashing, exploding off the road, whatever. But, like, you know, you're going to be looking around. You're not going to be seeing, like, top down into the car and be able to see half Superman, half...
Superman comes out, I guess Superman was also in the water or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Superman comes out and is like, oh, like the guy didn't know it was Clark Kent's car, you know?
It was just, it could have just been Superman, yeah.
He's got some kind of crazy superpower where his vision's just like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has 2200 vision or whatever they said, but he can see like in a very specific center of his vision really, really well. Yeah.
He has the power to see what's when cars go over cliffs, who's driving the car.
Yeah.
It doesn't come in handy because he can't do anything else about it because he can't see shit at every other point in life. But
but he still has a gift.
And so
anyway,
what the? Yeah, I mean, this is great. We're doing great.
This is always the podcast.
Yeah, have you listened before?
Well, what's happening right now? This isn't even the real Ryan Hit. This is generative AI that they're talking about.
Man, it's getting so good.
It's working pretty well so far. Glorpo. And so it's like, oh well, Clark has to be dead, and then this whole time, I haven't even mentioned that sketchy cop man from whatever fucking episode.
Yeah,
he's back.
Luminous Part 1, I think. Whatever.
Yes.
That one was.
I remember those lips anywhere.
Well, the villain was Luminous, but this detective is Lumin Sus.
Brian immediately said he's the bad guy.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's pretty sure. I mean, still fun, like the tension and everything of how are we going to get out of this situation. And he's like setting up bombs and trying to planting bugs, which when Clark said, "It's a bug," Lois is like, "No, you fucking dumbass. The bug is like a little thing that crawls around. What are you talking about?"
I've seen bugs like this before. On Krypton, they don't look like that here at all. I don't
But he spots them in the crowd. Bowman's standing right behind man in purple hoodie, who's like, "Yay!"
Yeah, he has this big mustache and a very happy face. Yeah.
That's the first time I have watched this episode more than any other episode of this goddamn show. This is the first time I've ever noticed big smiley.
Guy, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's not subtle.
A guy probably died in his apartment from that explosion.
Yeah, he's really excited about it.
And so they're like, "Oh, well, duh. Fucking cop is doing fucking evil cop shit." And
It
so
might
they're
be
like,
the
"Okay, well, we're
character
gonna."
we've barely known that is
Yes.
the bad guy. Yeah.
Also, just a word to everybody out there. If you're ever committing a crime and you're at the crime scene in a trench coat, don't flip
Stand
up
there
the collar,
scarily.
like hunch down and then walk away like you're the bad guy trying not to be spotted. Like, that's a dead giveaway.
But then that would make you look less guilty because
you're right.
It's because you're doing a psyop. I don't know. What does psyop even mean? I just wanted to say that because everyone else is saying it. It's peer pressure.
It's a Pokemon attack, I think, but that's the last time I checked.
Yeah.
Pikachu,
You
psyop. And then Pikachu goes off the battlefield into an office with a group of people like committing like conspiracies.
Brings back a box of floppy disks. No, Pikachu. That's not
Yes.
what I wanted.
And then they stage a whole thing for him to incriminate himself, which he does, and then he has his getaway chopper handy. It's like, "Detective Bowman, why do we always have to have your getaway chopper ready? That is so weird. And you called it that. Why are you still employed when you keep every third word out of his mouth is a getaway chopper?" He's just so paranoid all the time.
Yeah, he's at the scene of the car crash in the river. Like, well, if you wouldn't have just given away Choppa, I mean, what? I don't know what that is.
The fuck are you talking about? Why are you saying this out loud? This is really incriminating of you. I have no reason to suspect you because
Bug
you're
in Clark Kent's phone. Why don't you? What? Who?
he landed the getaway chopper on Clark's little like balcony. They just starts
Right outside the
Yeah.
It's teetering on the edge, slicing open other parts of the building.
But no, he uses the getaway chopper not to get away, but to fire at Superman as if that's going to do a goddamn thing, which it doesn't.
It does
And
some
Superman
things.
stops him.
Not
It
much.
slows Superman down way too much, way more than it should. But he could have just flown away. I don't know.
Yeah.
but not enough to do anything. And so, well, he's caught, but they have to save the innocent man, and he's in the gas chamber. And as with all deadly gases, it's a green, poofy smoke thing that only stays in place, and you know where it is because it's green, and that's how gases work. And he breaks into the thing and does a swirly and swirls it up into the air to kill.
I want to.
We should have had a shot of a bunch of birds flying by, and then they all just drop to the ground. and he goes back to the room with all the people in it, and the birds just like fall through the roof and just boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
clunk, clunk, clunk. I thought that I've also seen this episode many times, but for whatever reason I couldn't remember exactly how he got the gas out of there, and I was imagining that he was going to go in there and just go and suck it all up into his own lungs, and then go and then just dies. Like, oh, I thought I could have done this. I don't know why, but
He passes so much gas from all that pizza he had earlier.
Wah, wah.
He was just supposed to get the floppy disk, and he just ate a shit ton of pizza. Detective Bowman is now the turntables, and he's in the thing now, and it's the best ending ever, where he's like, he's Superman, and then dramatic music, and then the end.
is that a normal thing? Do either of you know this for a like executioner in modern times to wear like a medieval
What I was going to say is like they have their choice and one of them goes in like clown. Clown.
You can put whatever you want, just don't show your face.
Oh my God.
That's what Brian would do. He would wear a clown mask.
No way, man. I'd like go and do one of those like old like werewolf kind of things from like the 90s, like the rubber werewolf mask with like the bad gloves with the like clip-on claw fingers. Like that'd be
teeth,
me.
the rubber teeth. Yeah.
Rubber teeth, like I'm
it
going
would have been a
full
little
out.
little less impactful. He's Superman, and then there's just a werewolf standing there to go.
Yeah, that
Wait,
ending,
was that a werewolf? Okay, you really wanted to come on for this episode. I assume probably just because it's one of the best Superman episodes.
I mean, it is the best episode.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess we'll see if that
holds up
in court by the end.
Well, luckily in quotes, but I had to have my mic muted the whole time we were watching the episode because my toddler was just running around screaming and I didn't want it to ruin the episode for Brian. But it like allowed him to sort of like get sucked into the episode and not like be as, I don't know, we usually are kind of like having little middling commentary throughout the watch of things. And I feel like that at a certain point, Brian was just like sitting back on the couch, just watching the episode.
Well,
like, yes, good.
I'll also say that it's not just this episode. Like good episodes tend to shut up. And there were some things like the commentary of Superman leaving Lois on the balcony of some random person's house.
Yeah.
80 floors
Is he just
up.
gonna leave her there? Yeah.
But for the most part,
she looks over on another balcony as the getaway chopper. He's committing more crimes. He's just
like Beaumont's over there doing more crimes.
How does he gotten away with it? He's been on the force for 20 goddamn years, and there's always just a trail of getaway coppers, copters everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
it's the same thing: a getaway copper in a getaway copter.
Oh yeah, thank you for saving my inability to speak.
I got you.
But now I've made light of it, so it's but yeah, I mean, it is. You'll have your ranking at the end, but I mean, am I the crazy person here calling this the best one?
I mean,
Brian, for both of you, takeaway. Yeah,
we're gonna. I think takeaways at the end.
Okay, we were saving.
We got to talk. We need to. We're doing this in an order.
I mean, this is the one I watched the most. It's my favorite. I do think it's the best one, and this might be my favorite Superman story ever. So. Like there's a line from one of the recent movies and a line in this episode that like kind of work together for me and what I like out of Superman. In one of the recent movies, there's a scene where like all these pundits are like litigating Superman, like, oh, does he represent this? Is he this or that? And then this one guy is just like, maybe he's just a guy trying to do the right thing. Maybe he's none of this like
he's
overcomplicated shit.
He's not
right.
Yeah.
And then in this episode, Jonathan's like, well, you can't be Clark anymore. And then he's like, but I am Clark. I need to be Clark. I'd be crazy if I had to be Superman all the time, which I think not just the line of the episode, but I think like the line of the series. I think that's like just a perfect line.
It's something I know it's been coming up because we've had a couple conversations on the podcast where I have to like sort of not say like, oh, this is the canonical thing that Superman couldn't be Superman all the time. Whenever we've had these conversations, like, why does he need a job and that kind of thing or whatever. But,
I didn't know. Because like listening, because I'm still working on the Batman episodes and then hearing you talk about some of these Superman episodes, I didn't know how much of it is you haven't seen them as often or outside of just like editing things. So I didn't know how much of that was like deliberate.
There are some times where I lie of omission to Brian so that he doesn't know about things that are coming up. I try to skirt around things to like redirect conversations or whatever.
Got to keep me safe.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned, and this is kind of like a culmination of some of the things I've mentioned in some of the messages, but like the reason I kind of lump the recent movies in this show together is like that approach to Superman. Like he's Clark, and Clark is just a guy who wants to help people. And it's not like Clark is not like a facade or whatever. And that helps like with the relatability of Superman for me, because there are a lot of people who like him like to be like an inspirational figure, you know, and I get that, and that's perfectly valid. But I think the HD remaster of this show and the Justice League movie came out on Max the same day.
Oh.
I think, like 2021. And so I was rewatched this show and watched that movie around the same time. And like for the previous year and a half, I've been going through some like serious mental health shit. And so just stories of like Superman going through like very real struggles and like the humanity of the character and like the relatability of it, you know, seeing Superman struggle with something, but him overcoming it and it not being just like, oh, he's perfect, happy all the time, happy superhero man.
He's just as human as anyone else.
Yeah. And to know that the most powerful being in the universe will go through human struggles like all of us, but he makes it through just kind of, you know, someone dealing with like depression and shit, that kind of is a helpful thing. Like Clark Kent just being a dude, like using his platform as a reporter to do good is also like, you don't have to have superpowers to do good. Like if you've got a platform and you're standing up for something.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the like first good instances in the show of that he's not just a big punchy guy that can punch the other big punchy guy. Like that there's a lot more to him as a character. And I feel like, for me anyway, this is a good episode to transition into that sort of understanding of Superman that will be a lot more present. And I feel like Brian has been sort of struggling with in an understandable way hopefully up until this point. I don't know if that's something that you felt also watching this or not, Brian, but
we will see.
We're using big head, big words. I'm glad to know that kind of stuff because like these shows reach out to people in different ways.
Yeah.
And so, it's always good to like, you can also like these shows for all the punchy, blasty laser stuff, or you can like them for these more personal stories. Cause I feel like as a kid, I don't think I ever saw this episode until it came out on DVD when I was in like middle school. I don't have any nostalgic connection to this episode as like oh yeah, that was my favorite when I was growing up kind of thing, like with a lot of them. So I feel like being able to watch it as more of an adult, young adult, whatever, is the better way to like see it for the first time because you can actually understand what's going on more than just like, this is
young adult. James and I are still in our mid-20s. Brian, of course,
being 76.
Brian, of course, is put in cryo. He's been.
I'm just ahead
every time the podcast is done.
I'm ahead on spider legs.
He's been doing this for centuries.
I think Jamie, like you were saying, it's the show. We've had so many episodes where you and I are on the same page, where it's like, oh, this one sucks. Oh, it's so bad. Blah blah blah. And somebody chimes up like, oh, this is my favorite episode. And it's just like me complaining on our little Instagram chat thing with Dylan and Keen about how bad the live action Avatar is. It's like someone out there is going to love it. I mean, it has really good ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm here being like, I would give it a 10. Like I'd give it a 1 out of 10 on IMDb and I'd give it a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, and only because of the visuals. Everything else is dog shit, but somebody surely out there loves it. And so, like you're saying, if it's like a social commentary and that's why it's your favorite, if it's punchy bang bang and that's why it's your favorite, like it's fine. And it's cool that they can kind of bridge that gap. And I just feel bad when we make fun of the episodes that Dan directed.
That's the only person we know.
Like the World's Finest website did a poll like, okay, we're going to do this bracket. Like what's the fan favorite episode of Superman? And then it was this. And I was like, well, fucking A, like because it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, enough of that sentimental bullshit. Beep beep boo boo yoppie doodoo.
The official synopsis is as follows.
Yeah, boy.
As Clark Kent rushes to save an innocent man from dying in the gas chamber, he is involved in an auto accident and thought to be dead. But the eyewitness is unreliable, allowing Clark to emerge and find the man who should truly be in the gas chamber, Detective Kurt Bowman. They just spoiled that.
Spoiler.
That is horrible.
We're back in Fox
We
Kids
really
era.
are. Yeah.
I mean, like beyond the spoiler at the end, which is that is so bad. That's the last that's the last like 2 minutes of the episode, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little bit longer than that, but still,
twists,
like
the
description of the episode, like it's not. It is about that, but it's a lot more of like this detective uncovering the clue stuff instead of car accident. Clark's kind of dead, but he can't be dead. End of story.
I was thinking the whole time, because right after you said, oh, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, like, is that the most important part of this episode? Is that the twist is that it's Detective Bowman? Or can you still, like, if Brian's already guessed it, has the episode been ruined, blah, blah, blah? But I feel like that there's so many more either like mini twists or just like, well, how is he going to possibly do this or whatever? I
think, yeah,
that there's plenty to go off of. Yeah.
I was thinking that when I was watching it. Well, I mean, every time I watch it, like how many times within like the 3 years since it went on streaming, I would watch this. I couldn't tell you. But
someone keeps watching Late Mr. Kent over and over and over.
In bumfuck North Carolina, what the fuck?
I think you mean Florida.
There's bumfucks all over the place.
Yes, like the twist of the detective. It's like as soon as he appears and he's talking shit like, oh, well, everyone knows he did it. You shouldn't even bother looking into this, you fucking asshole. Get lost. I gotta go clean my chopper.
My getaway chopper is being fueled right. I mean, what?
Bada bing. But then, like, the rest of the episodes, like the stuff like Clark, like dealing with part of my identity might be gone forever, and then how do we undo this? We still have to free this man. Like, how are his loved ones reacting to it? And so there's more to it.
I do wonder what they did with the lack of floppy disk, other than just being like, well, Superman said he didn't do it. Like, what did they do to actually? Yeah. What other evidence do they have?
It was
Bowman's saying he did it, essentially.
Yeah, he's self-incriminating.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the segments because we'll end up talking about a bunch of shit during them.
Do them.
So here's the cast of the episode. It's everyone returning except one person. We have Tim Daly as Superman/Clark Kent, Dana Delaney as Lois Lane, Shelley Fabares as Martha Kent, Mike Farrell as Jonathan Kent, Jolie Fisher as Lana Lang, David Kaufman as Jimmy Olsen, Eddie Barth as Detective Kurt Bowman. Then we have our only new one, Paul Cobert as Ernest Walker, wrongly convicted guy. This is his only DCAU acting credit, and he's only ever acted in one other thing. One episode of the 1990 comedy series City, which I've never heard of, as voice of Dave. I assume guy on a phone or something. Oh, Dave, my favorite character. Yeah.
Good old Dave, man.
I was kind of hoping you were like
gonna mention Dave.
No, that you were like, oh, he was in the 90s comedy series. What's the name here? Nick Freno, licensed teacher, or some other thing I've referenced, but no.
Duckman, Private Dick.
Yeah, I'm surprised because like when he came on, I was just like, wow, this guy's like a total natural.
Did a good job. Yeah,
you know, like more like I was more impressed with this guy than I was with Kevin Conroy at the beginning of Batman. And for you to be like, he's just Dave.
Any performance of Kevin Conroy.
Oh well,
don't you dare,
Ryan. No.
But yeah, there's two more cast members. Peter Renaday as Clerk, the pizza man, I assume. Previously, second longshoreman in Terror in the Sky, Doctor in Mask of the Phantasm, Captain in WF, and this was the guy that was Abraham Lincoln in a billion things.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Levi.
This is one of the best moments of this entire show, by the way, is that episode where your cadence in saying Abraham Lincoln. I don't know how much of it. Half the things you say, I don't know how much you're like trying to do a goofy voice when you say things, or if it's just the way you talk.
It happens sometimes.
That's a Jamie thing since forever. That he just kind of go. It's almost like a little baby talk Jamie thing, but it's like it's the context. Like the voice comes out in context, not in like spite of or reference to.
Abraham Lincoln.
Where were we at the Hall of Presidents? Who was that said Abraham Lincoln? Oh, that was Peter Renaday? No, that was James Strecker. He just says it weird. I don't know what's going on. The last one is Greg Berger as manager. Oh, no, that's probably Pizza Guy.
Hold up. Let's give it up for Greg Berger
at the pizza restaurant. His last name is Berger. I assume. Well, then who's Clerk? I don't know who Clerk is. If manager.
and his name's Bob Burger.
His name is Peter Pizza.
Then who am I thinking of? But the sign.
I don't know who Clerk was in this, but Greg Berger as
Clerks
manager.
was a 1994 film
I'm
directed
sorry,
by Kevin
He was
Smith.
voice of Dave in Clerks. But he was previously Vinny the Shark in A Bullet for Bullock, the guy that they go after. With
Hey, Vinny the
jazz
Shark! Bada bing!
music. Bada boom! I'm the pizza manager.
Famous line from the late Mr. Kent.
from A Bullet for
Stan
Bullock.
Berkowitz was just like firing on all cylinders. I'm detective. Fucking whatever.
Bada
Getaway
bing,
shopper.
Bada boom! I'm the pizza man. Gold. I'm gonna get an Emmy for this one.
The motherfucker who died at Clark Kent. He's some fucking asshole. This is his funeral.
I'm the pizza man. Get my getaway chopper. Okay, I've got decent trivs here.
Okay.
During the opening of the episode, the title card is not shown on screen. We talked about that. I wasn't aware that happened. I've never looked out for it to not be there, but I guess it. Yeah.
Kind of hard to look for something not being there if you don't know about it.
So, what versions did each of you watch? Did you watch
We
the
watched it
Blu-ray
on
or the
HBO
DVD?
Max. So now I'm wanting to look and see if it's on
Max?
because I've got the DVD.
Because I remember like the title appearing, like watching it like in other places before, but it's all anytime I've watched it. I think I might have because when I got the Blu-ray,
I'm looking now. Yeah, so I'm watching the DVD version that we have,
and the title does
And
appear, right?
As it comes up right when they say Clark Kent's name in the funeral. So yeah,
They fucked up the
Yeah,
HD
they really
remaster on
did.
this show, like because here's the thing, like with BTAS, like the second intro is just like a clip intro, and I
Yeah.
think they actually went in and just had someone recut that intro.
Yeah.
But then for STAS, they just upscaled,
the DVD,
which
version,
means that the two new shots in that intro, like the nighttime flying and the shirt rip,
We don't get them.
we're never going to have an HD
Nope.
unless somebody goes in and does a thing. So it's just going to be kind of blurry looking upscale till the end of time.
This is
We're
the
doing
things
great
we get
game.
mad at, Brian, that you don't care about.
I got a dog.
There's a dog in here. It doesn't matter anymore.
Look at this. Look at this smiling
I'm glad I
face.
checked though, because now I know that it used to be there. That's a dog. That's a good-looking dog. A couple other goofs in the episode. When Clark tells Lois to tell her he has the evidence. Calls Lois to tell her he has the evidence to clear Walker. His shirt, tie, and pants change from yellow, black, and green to Clark's usual white, red, and blue. I don't know when that happened. If that was a mid shots or something, but.
Mid that describes
it
this
was a mid
episode.
show. Yeah, so mid.
This was a mid
It was so
episode.
bad, I didn't like it. When Jimmy and Lois hold up the Daily Planet newspaper, the lead is Superman saves condemned man. In the next shot, the con is missing. Superman saves demmed man.
I noticed that this time.
I think it was because Lois's hand is in front of Con, and they're like, "Oh, don't draw Con," obviously. But then she moves her hand to do something, and it's just still not there.
That man, Walker, is so dimmed right now.
He's so
Oh my God.
Saves demmed man, you know? Like it's just
you gotta
like
go say them name.
just cool slang they put in newspaper headlines these days.
I mean, Stan Berkowitz knew that he was doing kids WB, and they're doing. We got the dubba going on. This man's so dimmed, yo.
The newspaper says, "Bada bing, bada boom." Superman saves den man.
Up in this hizzy.
I like how you kind of think that's where the episode's gonna end. Like, oh yeah, everything's wrapped up, and then as soon as it shows the headline of like "crooked cop now is gonna fucking die," and Brian was like, "Oh shit," and it just kept oh shitting from there.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like I'm used to a certain level of the crooks fell in the water.
closure,
They're
yeah.
fine. They're just they're gonna get picked up by a
Yeah.
cop boat. It's okay. And this was just like, not only do you see him sitting in the cell, but they fast tracked his execution. They're like, no, we're doing this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then they just, they literally show up to the point where he gets.
You almost feel bad for him for like 1 second when they
No,
open
you
the
don't.
door
Never.
and he like gasps. I mean, I don't feel bad in terms of like, oh, he shouldn't get what's coming to him, but it more of just like, if I was him kind of a thing, like, oh my God, I'm
Oh my
about to be
God, my
murdered.
horrible scheme and racism didn't work, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna die.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. I wish I was him, you know.
It was, I don't know. It was really it's a bold choice. Like, I think that's something that you could pretty easily overlook, that like they haven't done a lot of this in the past.
That's why I like the Kids WB stuff so much, is it seems like out of any era of these shows, that it's the one where the network gave the least fucks.
Yeah,
because
they're taking the most risks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But no, I had asked Jane a couple days ago, like, is it normal that like the guest doesn't watch it with you guys? And I had asked because I wanted to do the same thing like you said you did, where you, I mean, out of necessity you had to mute, but I was wanting to just watch Brian's reaction
I
to
know,
it,
that is
especially
some of the best stuff. Yeah.
because of that ending specifically. I just wanted to see like,
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you
Yeah.
a play like a play-by-play reaction?
sure.
Okay, so it was a little bit like this.
Yeah, he's on the couch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow, he's in jail. Cool. Oh yeah, condemned. Yeah. Oh, he's in the execution. And then I rolled away. I rolled away from the TV for about 6 feet.
He did a backflip over the couch.
It was pretty. I guess the backflip. Yeah, I can't do that on.
It was a
command.
full on like the Evil Dead thing where he flies out the window and it's the
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I was.
Yeah, the camera's falling,
Yeah.
And then you like flipped upside down.
In reality, though, you did go like, "Holy shit!" at the right after they pulled the lever. At the
This
end.
makes me happy.
He's
This is
Superman, and they pull the lever, and then the guy goes, "Wait, who?" And then he dies. And they're like, "Oh shit, we
The
fucked
whole room
up."
heard him say Clark Kent is Superman.
Well, he didn't even say Clark Kent. He was just like,
No,
Imagine that though, being those are your last words.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, and they put it on his tombstone. He's Superman! Exclamation point.
Oh, I guess Detective Bowman was Superman. I wasn't aware. They don't really look alike, but
this fucking imposter over here flying around now.
Yeah.
How dare you wear that
that's why he's got
costume?
all the copters everywhere.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
With what?
His sort of like resolution there at the end, that like, you know, how did he do it? How did he escape? How did he this? How did he that? Like, Superman / Clark gave them a reasonable excuse. Like, he had a head injury. He like managed to get in touch with his ex or whatever. He was recuperating. She wasn't reading newspapers. Like, that's plausible. That's why he did it, right? That was the like, oh my God, the fisherman was blind. Of course, Clark could have gotten away.
Maybe
so why would Beaumont?
He didn't get to know how he survived or something. You keep saying Beaumont also. That's not his name.
Wait, what's his name?
Bowman.
Bowman. I'm sorry.
Beaumont is Mask of the Phantasm.
That's fair, Andrea. Right.
Sorry, you're thinking of the other really good thing.
I need to see stuff like I need to have a list of character names.
I didn't even know the fisherman. I worked for Beaumont.
But I figure like why would you?
I mean, he says though, how did he survive the car bomb? And how many people besides Clark knew that there was a car? No, Lois talks to him about it, right?
I think he's just sitting there with he's being too cynical about the whole, like the coincidences of Clark being able to survive and all this kind of, and him and Superman knowing all the things that would incarcerate him. So just I feel like it's just that he's sitting there with all the information going like, I'm not buying this like, kind of thing. How could he have done this stuff? And then puts it together just right at the last second there.
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah.
If only he had 5 more minutes, you know.
I know, yeah. Wait. It starts pounding on the glass.
And, you know, and here's the thing. This is not a documentary. This was written by a writer and drawn by underpaid Japanese animators. And
Oh, Ryan.
and so
You simpleton. Of course that's not what happened here. This is a documentary.
This was being filmed. Yeah. This was filmed as it happened. Yeah.
Have you not seen an IMAX camera before? It makes things look this way.
It turns him into a cartoon.
this was Christopher Nolan directed this episode. It was amazing.
Entirely IMAX. Yeah. And
that's why the black bars were on the side.
Yeah, they kept switching
to preserve the integrity of whatever the director's name's creative vision.
Kenji Hachizaki or whatever. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kenji.
The next trip I have just says Bowman's motive for murdering the wealthy woman is left unknown, which I guess true, but it's not really important to the story. Like, you don't need to know why he did that stuff other than that he's racist. I don't know.
I mean, he's a cop. Cops are shit.
Right.
The end.
Doesn't necessarily have to have a motivation.
Oh, that would be interesting. Like maybe somebody can make like a prequel to this episode and like have it
Don't
be
put
all
this on
about
me, Brian.
well, have it be all
Who else
about
is gonna do it?
about Professor Belmont or whatever his name is, and you'd have to really be a good writer to explain why he's like assaulting Lois in a stairwell, but like.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think he can.
I mean, if the Avatar live action show can have at that level of writing, then surely we can do this.
You're really
I'm
hurt
so
by this show. I'm so
pissed.
sorry. I have some quotes from Stan Berkowitz, who wrote the episode, from our interview with him that we put up on the Podtower not too long ago.
Oh,
So he's talking about like the inception of the story at all. He says what had happened.
Directed by Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, exactly. What had happened was when we started on Superman, Paul Levitz, which was like the DC Comics publisher at the time, came out to California to visit the writers and talk about different Superman stories, areas that would work to help us create stories. He said, sometimes a good story can be had by giving Clark a problem that reflects on Superman. So instantly I just thought, what if we kill him? That's a good go-to. Yeah.
he's just having a really bad day. What if we just kill Clark?
I fucking hate him.
He's such a nerd. Let's give him a new persona.
And then he said, and then of course I'd always loved film noirs since high school, watching those old Alan Ladd movies, Humphrey Bogart. So it was kind of a mixture of the two, allowing Superman to narrate it. Did that come off weird to you at all at the start? Like, were you thinking like, oh, this is kind of goofy?
Oh
or
no!
anything
I
like
mean,
that?
I'm a sucker for a film noir.
Yeah.
Like either like if it's like a legitimate film noir or like some kind of spoof on a film noir. So this I just like started with the voiceover and I was like, oh fuck yeah. Like I wanted my popcorn
Okay,
and I wanted to just sit back and I wanted it to be like
I can
3
never
hours.
tell when I know like, oh, this episode we're about to watch is going to be like a little different from normal. I can never tell like, oh, will that be a good thing for Brian, or will he be like, are you serious? We're doing a narration,
To be fair, Jamie, I don't even know.
You don't know how you're going to react either. And I
Nope.
can't tell you ahead of time, obviously. Now I've got a bit about the ending quote from Stan also. He said, the part everyone likes was created by Alan Burnett. I was finishing the script and he was giving me notes. And
The
he
whole
said,
episode, Ghost
Al
written
Burnett,
by
yeah.
Alan Burnett.
He said, hey, wait a minute. Come into my office. I want you to have him executed and then remember just as the pellets hit. That was Alan suggesting that. We got away with it because the pellets never hit the chemical. When we were doing those cartoons, we weren't allowed to show death or even mention the word death or dead or anything like that. There are moments when you're working where there's a lot of creativity and there's that eureka moment where, I'll have this scene. This will be great. Like the eureka moment Alan must have had when he thought about showing the gas chamber. So I guess Stan's script must have just ended without that kind of tag ending scene. It would have just ended with like, oh, yep, we saved the day. And then Alan Burnett like, I got it.
Now I'm picturing like the scene of the gas chamber with Bowman in it, and then it's like Superman and Lois in the foreground doing the SpongeBob. We did it. We saved the day. And while he's being gassed in the background.
I thought you were gonna say they're just sitting there in those chairs watching.
I know. I was like waiting for that lineup as they pan over to see who's just in there.
I thought it was weird that they said like the governor was going to attend the execution because it's an election year. Like,
yeah,
is that?
I mean,
thing?
that's another point for this episode is politicians are trash.
Yeah, some not so
The
subtle
justice
political
system is
commentary.
trash.
Yeah,
the government's trash.
All the stuff you're talking about, all the very not hidden political statements in this is like people like to point all the time to like, oh man, recent comic book stuff, like it's just they're getting too political all the time. Yeah, like it never used to be like this. I'm like, you fucking
go fuck yourself.
It's always been this. Like there are many DCAU episodes that are like Lockup. We had in this episode, and there will be more later that are just like
Summer Gleason's a nasty woman.
Yeah, if you don't get it, then that's on you, kind of thing. Yeah. The last thing I had, which I think is the most interesting piece of trivs to me, you'll enjoy this, Brian. According to composer Christopher Carter on Twitter, since the story is a whodunit, he avoided the musical note C for the entire episode until the ending. The first act of the episode ends one note below on a B. A second act ends one note above on a D flat. The final shot of Bowman realizing who Superman is ends on C, followed by a mix of all 12 tones at once. That's when the note when he does the thing. I just think that's really fucking cool.
Just for the sake of resolution, to not give audio resolution.
Yeah, to just like stick within that key the whole time, but never actually play the root of it, and then to finally hit it at the end, which is very subconscious. You would never like be looking for that or listening for it or whatever. But I don't know. I really like stuff like that where there's just some sort of hidden thing like that you would have never got otherwise. Oh, by the way,
that was something I was listening to the podcast Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9, which is one of my favorites. And they were talking about The Grudge and talking about the sound design in that. And it's when somebody does like perfect and subtle sound design, it really like it takes everything several notches up. Like honestly, I don't remember much of the plot to the first Dune movie, but the thing that stuck with me most is the sound design. It was just like, oh my God, it's so good. And so something like this is just, it's excellent. And it's so cool that like, I don't want to say they did it like just for a cartoon, but like,
well, like everyone making this episode gave a shit real bad.
Yeah. And it shows.
Yeah.
Those Dune movies really are, and just like, regardless of if you can get like connected with the story or whatever, but just like on a technical level, those are like two of the most like technically flawless like movies ever made.
Yeah, visually really good too.
Before the first Dune, I couldn't think of the last time I watched a movie and was impressed by production design. Like have that be a standout, because seeing so many movies where it's like production design is good and
it's all kind of the same.
It doesn't it does its purpose, but to watch Dune and the architecture of everything and the scale, and it's those Dune movies are good. My hot take.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has this opinion, but The Late Mr. Kent is a good episode.
I mean, and this isn't. I mean, something about the music, and this is not remotely subtle, but I love the like how percussive it was, like during the finale, like the bum 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 bum.
Yeah, during the
you mean like the bum 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 bum?
Yes,
that. Yeah, that part was my favorite bit of the music too.
Yeah, I've got helicopter on the rooftop. Yeah,
there's no Batman in the basement.
Yeah, that was a very good Pee-wee meme recreation you did. To explain for the listener, the music throughout was really good. I think like even just the start with the funeral just being very like sort of it went with the film noir style of stuff, which I think they probably just settled back into like, what did we do for Batman in the animated series? Let's just do more of that stuff or whatever.
I mean, it's not until you kind of said it now, I might have like subconsciously thought of this watching it, but the music in that finale of Batman in mind, that music, like,
and
I don't think it clicked with me until you said it, that it was like Batman music. I mean, it does, like, that piece of music, it sounds like you could have taken it out of there and scored a Batman scene with it, and so
out of a btas.
I'm sorry, I can't help but hear I've got Bowman in my copter playing in my head right now. Or is it rooftop? On my rooftop? How do we do this?
Electric chair.
If the man is considered guilty for what goes on in his mind, give me the electric chair on my future crime. That was a song from Batman, by the way.
I understand.
Brian probably doesn't.
That's true.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Sometimes have to tell him.
That's a deep cut for all you super fans.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever found goofy about this episode is just both of the bombs that go off are really like coincidentally timed, very specifically timed. The car one makes enough sense. Like, okay, yeah, he's just on his way. It doesn't, like, obviously the bomb in the car is unaware of Superman's voiceover narration. It's not going to time with that. Or whatever.
The bomb was AI.
Yeah, that knew. But the bomb in the apartment, I always picture that it would be really funny if Lois just sees the picture of her and Clark and goes over and like, oh man, like, I gave him crap, but boom! Like, because she notices it with like 6 seconds left on it or something. Yeah. It's like, wow, good thing you saw this just now. And she doesn't like run away. She just goes, Superman, and keeps staring at it. There's something's about to happen.
I want the reverse of that to happen with Clark's car, where he like drives all the way to his destination, gets out of his car, gives the guy
Murders
the
the governor
diz,
also.
you know,
Then he
just
gets
like
back in the car.
drives away, goes to a KFC, and he's inside ordering, and then his car explodes. He's like, "What the fuck?"
He's inside
22
the
minutes is
KFC.
just Clark Kent going about his day, and then at the very end, the car explodes, and then like, what the? And then, huh? And then just cut to black.
And he goes, man, I was almost a late Mr. Kent. And then,
And then stares
And
at
he
the
looks
camera.
directly into the camera, and it's like Looney Tunes at the end. Boom.
Holy shit, you guys have made a better show than this already was.
no.
Fuck you, Stan Berkowitz.
Oh, no.
Satire.
Yes, please. Okay, keen effects.
Oh.
Many of them.
Okay, I want to do the big one. I want to do the big obvious one. Can I do the big obvious one?
Okay, do it. Yeah, Brandon.
Clark in the Kent exploding black and white anime pencil art.
I was
in the
going to
Kent.
say, fuck you.
Clark in the Kent.
You gotta talk about the bullets and explosions of the rooftop now.
Brian, do you know that you said Clark in the Kent?
What?
That's what you just said is Clark in the Kent.
Oh, I meant in the car. I was just too excited
I
to
know.
talk about it.
Well, let me say it correctly the way that I've been knowing I was going to say it the whole time.
Uh-huh.
The anime moment, like they did in
Yeah.
World's Finest, where that's straight up out of anime. Everything white, the black outlines.
So good.
I do like this one a lot more than Tiny Boat exploding, but it's
Yeah.
still the same effect. Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
good.
why I love this so much. You know, it's just to me it is kind of like an anime trope, but it just shows like God, what is that really hard ass anime that's like all about the bomb being dropped in Hiroshima?
I don't know.
And it's like it's this
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. There's like a 3 or 4 minute sequence of like city being destroyed and people being destroyed, and there's so much of this.
Is it a movie? Is it a Ghibli
yeah.
one? Is it like Grave of the Fireflies?
No, it's called Barefoot Gen.
Is that what it is?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm seeing these images I've seen before. Yeah, all these like children just being like blown to bits
Yes.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That's
very
the one.
gruesome and awful.
It's
Yeah.
super gruesome, but it has this same kind of like intensity. And I don't know.
Visceral,
I was just absolutely I don't know. I was locked in at that point where
Yeah.
it went black
Like,
and
oh,
white
shit, this is
line
gonna be a
art.
good one.
Just like oh fuck yeah. And there was a lot of other good keen effects, you know, that we should talk about, but that one is so exciting.
This isn't really an effect, but the shot of Superman where it goes from the Kent house back to the graveyard.
Did you call it the Kent house?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's so
Oh,
funny?
his parents' house.
Yes.
I thought you meant
Yeah,
like
I mean,
his own pad
see-
as like the penthouse.
call it the Kent
but he calls it
house.
the Kent house. I'm sorry.
The Kent Mojo Dojo Casa house.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I mean, I think the most used image of Superman from this show is the shirt rip in the opening, but I think the second most used image I see just like on Twitter or wherever when people are using a picture of Superman from this universe, it's that shot of when he's in the room and then it goes back to the thing.
Yeah, we're like transitions.
You know
the
what
background.
I'm
Kent
saying.
house.
I do.
I got you.
I know. Kent House. Yeah. When Clark's in
Yeah.
the Kent, I understand. I think that's the subtitle, Brian. I'm so sorry. But the late Mr. Kent, or when Clark's in the Kent. It's so stupid, but it works.
But I mean, this is like I mean, the script is. It's like they
Everything is
knew.
very
It's like
keen.
they
It's not
knew
just
that they
visuals,
finished
yeah.
the script and they were like, okay, we gotta fire on all cylinders here.
Yeah.
And so it's like TMS is going to do this. We're going to get
It's
fucking
one of those
banger
that I
music.
wonder
and
if it wasn't TMS, if it would affect our reception of the episode, or if it would still, the writing would run it enough.
It would be good, but it wouldn't be as pretty.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's also, I think this is like, I mean, I'm just really gassing up this episode. I love it so fucking much, but
you because
of all the pizza. I ate.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
But it's like everyone's on model and there's so many just great like explosions and like things happening, and this is just like a perfect, I think This is the best the show's ever looked.
You know,
God damn it.
speaking of explosions, we're still on Keen Effects.
Well, no, I was about to add in a good segue if Brian would have let me.
Nope.
But oh well. The Clark's in the Kent now.
No, let's talk about something else until we run out of time.
Yeah. Okay. Quest for Camelot. The as goofy as him being like Gatling gunned or whatever on the rooftop was, because he could have flown any other direction. You said slower than a speeding bullet as it was happening. As dumb as that kind of was, every single bullet hitting him was like a unique puff of fire and smoke, and very very keen looking that whole bit. And even when Beaumont or Bolin or whatever his name is gets in the helicopter and sits down, you went like, oh, that's so pretty. Just him getting in his helicopter and sitting down. Yeah, the windshield highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
Yeah.
And then there's that spot where Superman deep throats the rocket too. That was awesome.
That was a really good shot, though. It's like POV of the rocket, like shooting at him, like the camera's locked onto the rocket or whatever.
Yeah,
and it travels like in 3D space toward him, and then he flies back
down his
that's a very good shot. Yeah, down his throat.
And the way he's drawn when it hits him, like he's just like perfectly holding it, and like in like, oh God, I'm being projectiled into a direction.
He said, "Oh God, this is like that Man-Bat shot with the blimp. It's so good." He said.
Yes.
I need to rewatch that.
You do.
Really do.
And talking about just little things like the thing in the cockpit, like the shot of Clark driving, and just you see like the ocean out his like really pretty like full glass car or something. It always seems like it's like
strange.
The whole car like you can see out of, but it's just good. I don't know how many just. Only so many ways to say to this. It just looked fucking great.
Yeah, it did.
This episode's fucking great, man.
It is. Yeah, I was going to use that exact phrase, and before Brian was like, "Well, we can't get to it till we talk top 10." I was going to start with like, "This episode's fucking great." Let's do the thing. Superman's powers. Do you do any new powers?
Yeah, fucking Tasmanian devil action. Tasmanian Hoover.
Powers.
He sucks out he spins real fast and sucks out the gas.
That's dreidel powers.
The old Tasmanian Hoover.
I guess
maneuver.
He did. It was dreidel powers to an extent, Jamie, but also he never used it for like suction, right?
No, I guess you're right. Yeah, I'm at Hedgehoggin /dreidel powers. I've now put /Tasmanian Hoover, and I'm gonna write sucking the gas. Late Mr. Kent. Something about that scene that you were like laughing at almost. I think it was just because you have to, even in this most serious Superman story ever, you still have these like silly Superman things that he has to do every once in a while. But he didn't really do any weaknessy things either. New weaknesses in this.
I mean, no, not so much.
The weakness of the human condition.
Yeah.
What?
He was weak to trying to save a man. Strength level 1 through 10. How strong was he?
You know, he picked up a big water thing.
He did. He picked up the Animaniac's house and punched a hole in it. They were in there. They're like, oh my God.
We're in dead.
They were up there with B&L because we can't say the name of the band, apparently.
Truth.
Yeah, I don't know what else he did in this that was really like.
No, so he was
cool.
I mean, this is one where I wish it was Superman's usefulness, because that'd be like fucking.
Oh
yeah. He was a big smarty pants detective in this one. Yeah, I'll say if we're counting the strength of like any of his powers, I thought it was a little silly that he had to like put his ear right up against the building to hear through it, to hear their conversation.
He like gets a cup.
Yeah. Can you lower the string? And Lois Lane's standing there with another cup with a string off of it.
Trying to get it tight, leaning away slightly.
Bowman's like, what the fuck are you doing with the cup on a string? What kind of bullshit is this? Bada bing.
But yeah, I mean, just like I know that that's probably just to show the audience, like, oh, Superman's listening to their conversation, but he could have been standing like half the city away and still heard it. So I don't know.
The dog listening is selective.
That's true. So he had it turned off,
and I guess he did have to be right there. Yeah,
with the helicopter having the ability, like the projectiles of the helicopter, like slowing him down, like pretty badly. and him not hearing things well, do you think the cops are like, oh, there's this fucking Superman and he might uncover some of our secrets and get in our way sometime, so let's line the building with lead or something and super powered helicopter, or my getaway copter, add fucking military grade bullshit to this.
Right, yeah. Well, I don't even think that, was it there for him, or was it there just happened to be, because the policeman that was standing there.
It's canon now. It's part of the lore we've invented.
Okay, we've made it
until Stan Berkowitz comes in with like cease and desist.
I guess we could say that policeman was surprised because he was still like, here, Detective Ballman or whatever your name is. I got your helicopter here as you ordered, and then he just comes sprinting up and throws him out of the way. Oh, this isn't what we agreed upon. He picks him up and
throws him off the roof for no reason.
Yeah, you would think he'd be trying to do more. I mean, I guess he's supposed to be not the smartest guy, like the detective guy, obviously, because he was for a while, but clearly he's got to lose. Like I shouldn't have touched the bug with my bare fingers, I guess. Not when I show the fingerprints. He could have, I was wearing gloves, so it doesn't. Everything's ruined now, or whatever.
Yeah.
But he should have been he's panicking or whatever, but he probably should have been doing more to try to distract Superman. Like, throw the policeman off the roof, or like have something else other than I'm going to fly away now. Because if he barely slowed him down with the gun, and then when he tried to take off, which he would have done anyway, Superman just went nope and grabbed the helicopter. Yeah.
I guess that was pretty strong.
Yeah.
Ish?
He held onto the helicopter.
I don't know.
I'll give him 4 floppy disks. I stole it out of 10.
I was going to do something with the floppy disk.
Here, I'll give you some more time. I'll give him a 4.3 because I feel like adding a decimal today. Fisherman's spectacles out of 10.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
I mean, he had to use his brain strength a great deal more than usual.
That's true.
But he was stopped by fucking getaway chopper, the power of a wall.
Yeah.
He was stopped by Pink Floyd's The Wall. And
he just starts blasting that off the helicopter speakers. Oh, my weakness.
the whatever face from the animated Wall movie comes out and starts talking to Superman.
Distract him while I escape, yeah.
And also, this episode's great, and I'm not going to give things having to do with this episode low numbers. No. So because I was going to say this anyway, fuck you, James. It's 7 Deus Ex floppy disks out of 10. You didn't say it exactly that way, so I give myself a... No,
Hank, you can have that. I did feel like I could have given it a funnier name than just literally floppy disks. So I think I'll just give it 4 Ron Troop's leftover pizza slices. Why did we leave them there?
There was only 2 of them, though. There was only 2.
Ron Troop, he eats most of a pizza and then just goes home. Fuck you.
Yeah, who's like, you know what?
I
don't like day old pizza in the fridge. I'm gonna leave this on my desk and throw it out tomorrow.
Maybe Clark Kent, he's still hanging around. I guess he might want it.
I was confused. There was one thing about that pizza I was confused about. There was some white residue on top, and when Clark went to eat it and then he stopped and looked at it, I was like, does that cum?
Yeah, well, the way he looked at it made me think something's wrong with this
Yeah. He
pizza.
uses a supervision and he's like, oh, there's some bacteria on there I don't want. It's poison. They put cocaine. I don't know.
Yeah, around the clock pizza. You want me to jerk off even more on your pizza than usual?
Wait, can we?
The sign.
Can we take a moment to just talk about round clock pizza?
Yeah, you read it as round instead of round the,
because it was round space ish th apostrophe. I'm like, what's round?
It is a weird way.
Clock
why would
pizza.
You?
That was the guy who played Superman in that one movie, Brandon Round.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I mean, why would you abbreviate by just removing just one letter and then putting an apostrophe in its place?
Because there was already a around-the-clock pizza. Metropolis is New York. There's a fuck ton of pizza places, and this guy's like, well, I want my place to be around-the-clock pizza. I'll just say the E off and put an apostrophe on it. Fuck.
Well, and I thought that too with how it's called round the clock. But then when he answers the
He says
phone,
around, doesn't he?
around the clock. Yeah, I'm like, that's not the name of your establishment, sir. Do you know where you work, actually?
He is exhausted from all the jerking off he had to do on those pizzas.
Pizza. Yeah, sorry.
Jerking off on the pizzas.
It's Ron Troop's favorite pizza, but he can only handle so much. Where's Clayface? Is the pizza come? What's going on?
Yeah, that's it. We're done. It's that.
No arguments
The
there.
Okay,
end.
cool. Yeah. I'll play this now.
Oh, hold on.
No.
Who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's
You
final
wait.
call. The Balderarchy.
What?
I was going to do another bit. I was going to keep
Okay,
the thing with
yeah,
the songs going.
uh-huh.
Okay, never mind. It's already done.
Oh my
No,
god.
do it.
All right, thank you so much. That's another one off the new album.
you
But
go.
here's the one you all remember. You all know.
Where's Clayface? Come, keep pizza come.
God.
Yeah, okay. Who's bald in this even? Nobody. Is anybody bald in this?
Oh no. Oh, I've been thinking about this.
Okay.
I've had this in the back of my landfill brain for weeks now. So it was a little piece of home where Luthor's like, oh, I own the city. I own the cops. I own fucking everything. If the cops are the villains of this episode and Luthor owns the cops, then it's Lex Luthor.
Whoa.
Okay, all right.
That is a
Bald by association.
wow.
The transitive property of bald. So the bald's the div property.
The bald is outside the parentheses in the comps. We're doing PEMDAS. We're old school. Okay.
Holy
the late
shit.
Mr. Kent. I'll just say the entire police force, question mark. Yeah.
I love that.
Now I have a new sound that I'm going to play. I got
Jamie.
I didn't intend necessarily for Ryan to be here for the unveiling of the sound, but it's magic. You know, it works.
No, is it a song?
No.
Okay, never mind.
So I got a cameo from someone to do various reads of phrases that we'll be using in future Watchtower database videos, but I also got him to say this one.
Books or hip hop?
It's the Halo guy.
I don't know.
That's okay, Ryan. That's why you're here, is to not know. You'll represent the area of the listener
Yeah.
base. that doesn't
Welcome
know.
to my world of just not knowing where everybody else knows everything.
Welcome to my life.
Can you play that one more time?
Yeah, is it?
Books or hip hop?
That's the achievement.
Fucking hip hop, dude.
Oh yeah,
For me,
Okay.
yeah.
I was gonna say this was books. I think it feels like a pretty good, like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and read this whole book now kind of book, like, you know.
I'm going books because
Yeah.
because I don't abide hip hop, and this episode's fucking awesome, and I love books. Books are awesome. Books are great.
I'm sorry.
So-
You can you press the ban hammer, Jamie?
The-
Ryan Hipp doesn't like hip hop. What?
rock and roll, man.
It's in
rock
your
and roll.
name, buddy.
Okay, top 10.
Jamie, I do want to put this on my top 10.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it at. I'm putting it at number 2. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm putting it Underworld's Finest. I still have a lot
that's
more.
the thing, though. Is like
I'm putting it up against a 3-parter with Batman in it. I'm sorry.
well, the other thing is like it's technically a movie, and I'm like
it's
it was
technically not a
produced.
movie.
It's well, technically, but it was like. And they group it in with Superman, but it's like it's kind of a both, and who knows, like the logistics, the
Look, you
who
can
know-
put it at number 1. It doesn't matter.
Well, obviously it's number 1, but
While Brian's explaining his, I'll go ahead and write yours down. 'Cause you get the guest listen.
Wow, we got a healthy selection of guests now.
We really do.
Yeah, I also whoops, that's the wrong top 10. There we go.
Batman the Animated
I'm
Series.
just sitting here like right above holiday
the
nights.
late Mr. Kid.
I similarly, I'm putting this at my number 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, like
Here's the thing, I can respect, even though I mean, it is kind of technically a movie and kind of technically both shows, and for whatever logistical production reasons, it's considered Superman. Fucking
Ryan, have you met Jamie's
It's got a
brain?
handicap. It's got a handicap, but I can respect World's
It
Finest.
does have a handicap. I'll give it that.
Yeah, this is, I mean, for a single part, if you were to do a single part of this against any single part of World's Finest, that might change it up a wee bit. But no, this is absolutely excellent. I legitimately also, every once in a while, I get to episodes where I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that again.
Yeah.
This is one that I absolutely will watch again. When? I don't know. Sometime.
Well, that kicks Double Dose off of your top 10, and it kicks
does.
Double Dose.
It kicks Speed Demons off of mine. I forgot to erase Double Dose last time, apparently. But yeah, so now My Girl's my number 10.
Yeah, I got The Main Man Part 2.
Is the next victim potentially? Yeah.
Yep. Which is fine. This is quality. I'm really looking forward to this, like Superman getting to this level, because like this is like a big step up for me. Because as you said at the beginning of the episode, it's kind of not been super hooked on Superman. I didn't mean to do that. Hooked on Superman. This is great. This is really, really good. Some would say it's the best.
Is it Yop 10 worthy, Brian?
Oh,
yes, it definitely is. Now I'm going to make Ryan even madder by putting it at number 4 on my Yop 10.
This is so much better than On Leather Wings. Come on.
I know, I did that as a joke, Brian. It's going above On Leather Wings.
Oh, thank God.
It is. Well, here's the thing, though. Like, I like breaking down like the 3 eras of Batman as BTAS, Batman and Robin, and New Batman Adventures, because those first 65 of Batman, roller coaster.
Yeah.
Then they come back from Mask of the Phantasm and partway through change the name. And I feel like that's a really, like growing up, like when I got the DVD sets growing up, or whenever it was, mid 2000s, I got volume 1, and it's like, most of this doesn't feel like the Batman I remember as a kid. What's the fucking Batman in my basement? Fuck you. and then I actually think I got volume 3 next. I got them out of order, and that's where pretty much all where pretty much all Batman and Robin is. And like, okay, this is what the show is.
Yeah.
But for like BTAS, like the first 65, I think it's On Leather Wings for sure. That's like,
Brian.
Yeah.
Moron.
Brian.
I'm gonna shift topic here, because Jamie, did we agree that the Yop 10 is a never ending list? Because we both have 12.
Oh no, I see that now. So I guess we both have to kick 2 off the bottom, which means we're both kicking a bullet for bullet off the Yop 10.
I know, it hurts me.
No.
Oh,
and you're kicking off Holiday Nights, and I'm also kicking off Riddler's Reform. Yeah, that's tough. Man.
Wait, you're kicking off Riddler's Reform?
So my Yop 10 now is BTAS, mostly BTAS, but it's got some STAS in there. Second Chance is bottom to the top. Second Chance, Ghost in the Machine, Almost Got Him, Heart of Ice, Two-Face Part 1, Feet of Clay Part 2, On Leather Wings, Late Mr. Kent, Robin's Reckoning, World's Finest.
Yeah, and my 10-1 is Harley's Holiday, Beware the Grey Ghost, which I don't like that's at number 9. Second Chance, Almost Got Him, Riddler's Reform, The Late Mr. Kent, World's Finest, Parts 1 through 3, Robin's Reckoning, Part 1, Feet of Clay, Part 2, and Heart of Ice, number 1.
I wonder if we should be able to shuffle the Up 10 at any time or something.
I'm looking at that because, I also
play
think
Monster Reborn and bring some back.
Yeah, well, just because, that was one that was painful to kick a bullet for bullet off. But also you have Feet. I don't know that you should have. This is just me. This is me.
No,
But Feet of Clay Part 2 being number 2 above Robin's Reckoning, World's Finest, and Late Mr. Kent feels like what the fuck are you talking about?
I honestly, I also agree. I really do agree. Maybe we should have a couple of shuffles on
Feet
this
of Clay
one too.
Part 2 has only ever been on both of ours, I think, for like the last 5 minutes, where Clayface swirls around a bunch and we went, holy shit, this looks so good. And then it's just clung onto there for forever.
You saying Harley's Holiday, I will say, like, starting a discourse over On Leather Wings, Harley's Holiday might be of all 3 combined, might be my single favorite Batman episode.
Really?
Okay.
Possibly.
I feel like I'm trying to figure out which ones I want to flop off of here now, though, because I'm gonna get rid of Feet of Clay Part 2 on my Yop 10. I'm gonna add back on
Bullet for Bullock.
Bullock.
Yeah, dude.
Because I think that that was That was a tough one.
Yeah, that one hurt to. I think I need to spend some time. I don't know if I can do this on the fly.
Figure out which one you want to remove.
Because Almost Got Him was fun in hindsight, but still not as emotionally impactful as A Bullet for Bullock. I want to shift this all around, but again, I want to take some time. I'm not as well versed as you. I want to look at my cheat sheet and really make sure I'm making the right choices because this is a bigger deal.
I was just trying to think how to say it without it being weird. This is kind of like how the sausage is made, how the cum pizza is made.
Ryan, I think we're going to do mail a different time, but I did see that you sent in a mail.
Yes.
So I'm going to do just yours.
Oh.
Because since you're here, I will play the song. And then when we come back.
Well, let's intro this one.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
You have a plan here. Yeah.
All right, big pussy. All right, big pussy. That's a lot of noise you're making out there, but can you make a little bit more? Can you make a little bit more? Put the ball in the back. Stand up, Brian Monday in the hay.
No, I didn't do it for Corey Taylor, and I won't do it for you.
That yacht had one small extra yacht put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yacht.
Oh yeah, those.
Into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're wrong.
I am.
Just Dylan Paula.
We are the world. We are the children.
Ryan, I'm just going to play yours with you here. It's called Missed Call Ryan.
Oh, fuck, play it. This might be important.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got a voicemail from Ryan Hipp. Monday, April 22nd, 1:57 p.m. Okay, what is this?
You have one unheard message. First unheard message.
Hey, Ryan. This is yourself calling to remind you, honey, that you have to come all the way back to the office unless you remember to bring home the Bruce Wayne file because the meeting's on Wednesday. You stupid corn dog.
End of messages. Check erased messages. Press 19.
Did you remember?
Fuck.
I'm glad that came in like yesterday afternoon sometime, and then I was just like, oh, well, I guess we have to at least do that one with Ryan here.
Was it worth it? No.
No, it was. It always is. Whenever you hear us go like, oh, and this one's from Ryan.
It's a lot less chaotic than it usually is.
It was almost like I was going to be on here or something. I don't know.
What?
Oh, shit. Ryan Hipp was on the call the whole time. Who did we think we were talking to?
Yeah. It was a character from Quest for Camelot, as far as I thought. You were being shot on IMAX camera, so you look like the cartoon in the background.
Yes. Christopher Nolan's first film was Quest for Camelot, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the future without Ryan, and it's weird because I'm not going to play the sound again. We're just going to go right into it because we've already done it. We already
that's
played
uncomfortable.
I know. We're just get a little taste. Yeah. This is from Dylan Pollock, the late Mr. Kent, or the absent Kal-El, the missing Superman, the left behind Big Blue Boy Scout.
It's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on the late Mr. Kent, or sometimes my gas kills. My first thought is, without Superman's involvement, this would still be a great Dateline episode, as they, well, hopefully if they still save him before, he's put to death. Anyway, moving on. Superman says, I hadn't eaten all day, not that I needed to. Does this mean Superman doesn't need food? Does he use photosynthesis? Add that to the list of powers. Also, why doesn't Martha even try to lie and act concerned to the cop? And this is one of the best lines. Clark saying, I'd go crazy if I had to be Superman all the time. It's nice to know that, yes, he's a Boy Scout, but he gets tired of it and still a person first. Superman is the mask, Clark is the man. Found myself laughing during the helicopter fight. The bullets don't injure him, so it feels like bullets just activate Clark's clumsiness and he starts tripping all over the place like gunfire. Whoa! Anyway, let's get to the question of the week. James' favorite part.
That is.
Would you rather be transformed into one of Karkel's beasts or be in prison for life, waiting and hoping you're proven innocent one day?
Oh my God, Dylan.
I think Karkel Beast because Dr. Fate will save me and my Karkel pajamas will slip off soon.
I don't
also,
know.
Boy Scouts are people too, Dylan.
I feel like I don't really know how to answer that. I'd probably just piggyback on your answer, Jamie. But I will also say that Dylan's burning out at work is showing.
Yeah, it's very tired.
Question of the week, James's favorite part. Would you rather die by a million cuts with broken glass or being burned alive?
Would you rather face your boss or... Oh, wait, am I just saying what's on my mind? What's going on here?
Dylan, we care about you, man.
If everyone else in the audience could please just tell Dylan to quit his job and move to Oregon. Is that part of the plan?
Yeah. He's such a good sport. Dylan, like, for your career path, you're doing the right thing. Okay, buddy? Mm-hmm. Your boss is an asshole, though.
There are other jobs in your field.
There's better jobs in your field. Go get an upgrade somewhere.
This is from Metropolis Mayor Franklin Berkowitz. I'm here to announce, what do we have today, Ezekiel? Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to say how sad it is a cop killed someone and then framed someone else and then killed the reporter guy, but it turns out he wasn't dead or something like that. What's his name again? Bowman? Wasn't that guy fired for trying to kill another reporter? It was another guy? What's his name? Loomis? What kind of fucking name is that? And how the hell do you know all these answers, Ezekiel? I should have fired Mike years ago. Anyway, should I congratulate the governor for bringing justice to an innocent man or condemn him for putting him to death? You don't know what I mean? I mean, is he from the same party as me or not? Jesus, Ezekiel, I don't follow politics. It's boring and frustrating. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, whatever. I'm going to call him and ask him directly. What's that? He's attending the execution? That's so fucked up. Does he attend every execution in this state? Is that a thing politicians do? Should I be doing that? Yeah, I don't know. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Also, which one in that room was he? They never really said. It's one of those guys. LexCorp stock condolences.
Oh.
This is written in like brackets and like it's a corporate email.
Oh God.
We here at LexCorp are sad, happy, satisfied to hear about, have caused the tragic passing, unexpected mutation, assassination of Clark Kent. We will always fondly remember Clark Kent and curse the time he broke into Lex's office and complained about cold coffee. As an expression of our sorrow, threat of continued violence, you are eligible for one of the following condolence gifts: a free tour of the LexCorp lead factory, one free microwave gun, $5 off Bath and Body Works. If you are still looking for a way to honor your loved one, please consider using LexCorp's, Metropolis's favorite way to dispose of bodies since 19 timeline data redacted. For all of us here at LexCorp, we are sorry for your loss, completely neutral to this death, willing to kill again. Very good. Thank you, LexCorp.
That is genius. Damn. Why can't I be so creative?
Michelle Salerno. Hello, Badonkadonk and Jinkies.
It's taken me several times to try and record this because I keep going over a minute. But this episode is really good. It made me emotions. It was great to see an episode more about Clark than Superman because it really highlights his human side. You know, how Clark wanted this case to be a win for himself and not have all his achievements under Superman's shadow because Superman's not his defining feature. It's not who he is. It's really Clark's kindness and compassion that make him Superman. And if Clark was a much different person, who knows if Superman would even exist? Superman Red Sun is a great example. Back to the episode. When Clark took a look at that pizza, I really thought his face was going to scrunch up in disgust and he was going to be like, ugh, anchovies. Also, I'd like to know what he was thinking when his car blew up because he was either really shocked or he was just sitting there arms crossed like, well, shit. Because he knows it can't kill him. And it makes me think sometimes if Clark would have to forcibly react in situations that are scary for everyone else except him. I'll make sure to never watch this episode again for a long time because I want to re-experience it like I'm watching it for the first time when I do. It's just that good. I rate this episode 10 out of 10 Superman's polluting the air with death gas. Yop till you drop.
That's a good question. I feel like we've talked about this a little bit whenever he like flung out of Lois's car off a cliff. Like, why didn't he just fly or whatever? Why did he fall out of the car at all?
I guess he had to. He was thinking fast and he's like, oh God, how does a man fall?
What would human do?
How does human fall to death? Hold on. He's like doing like a perfect corkscrew and like a swan dive.
Yeah, he's like, is this how humans die? And Lois like, excuse me? This is from Kevin Delacry. Hey, Jude, and back in the USSR. Has someone done this one already? I don't think so.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real
glad
good
you
one.
guys made it to my favorite episode of STAS. This is a great dilemma for Superman. I'm surprised that none of the live-action movies have ever capitalized on a situation like this before. Superman having to exonerate someone with destroyed evidence only Clark Kent has seen. Rewatching it, it's crazy how darkly funny and straight up dark it is. I can't believe the censors let the idea of Detective Bowman strangling a woman to death and framing some random thief to make it to air, even if we're only told about it and not shown it. It's honestly scarier that we don't know Bowman's motive, and scarier still that he would have gotten away with it all. It's all very real for the show that brought us episodes with big monkeys and space gods and such. I lost it at that final scene. It works on a meta level too, since it's so obvious to us that Clark Kent is Superman, and we will always have to suspend our disbelief that people can't figure it out in universe. Here's the only guy who worked it out, and there he goes. Last thought, are gas chambers really more kid appropriate than electric chairs or lethal injections? It makes for a more thrilling action scene, I guess, but the idea of choking to death in a glass case of mint green smoke might have really freaked me out as a kid. Then again, the idea of capital punishment really freaks me out today. Superman should do something about that governor. That sick freak makes time in their schedule to watch Murder from the Front Row. Best, Kevin DeLacre.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kevin.
Batman was in an electric chair and almost got him. Sort of. Jordan Newman. This isn't recorded, but it's like the transcript of a Jordan Newman. So I guess I gotta... All of us at GCN are saddened to hear of the passing of Daily Planet journalist Clark Kent. Although I didn't know him well, I did get a chance to meet him at the Excalibur Awards for Excellence in Investigative Journalism, where he famously spilled a comical amount of tea on himself. He was a charming, forthright, and lovably clumsy individual who seemed to hold the respect and good wishes of all who had the opportunity to work with him. At the time of writing, there is no official suspect. With so much super crime in Metropolis, one wonders how safe journalists can ever be there, or indeed anywhere in a world increasingly filled with supervillains and the caped crusaders who strive to stop them. Having only narrowly missed a run-in with Mr. Freeze recently, it seemed inevitable that the risk would eventually catch up to one of us. My heart goes out to the Kent family, and I can only hope that myself and everyone else in this increasingly dangerous profession stays safe. Jack Ryder. GCN PR disclaimer. Article written last night, and information therein may now be inaccurate. Now over to the music. The detective noir vibe between the music and the narration was stellar. Thanks, Jordan. Yes, good music in this. Very creative messages today. Now you got to follow it up, Tip Tapricot. Listen, I know we expect me to go on about the weight of identity between Clark and Superman, human and hero, but I was tired, so I just rolled with whatever.
Alrighty, here are some contemplations on the late Mr. Kent. First, I want to say, on the behind the scenes, I do usually plan stuff out if I have a lot to say about it. Sometimes if I don't have a lot to say about an episode, I'll just kind of go for it. But if I have a lot to say, like, I'll kind of live blog my thoughts in a notes app while watching, and then try and like form it into different chunks of like, here's what I want to say, and then I write it down roughly, and then I'll just kind of read through it or go over the points as I'm recording, and it sometimes will be more together than others. I like this episode. It's one of my favorite episodes. I can't talk about it a lot because I've got like 20 seconds left, but also it's just really good. I think it was cool to see the weight that Clark had in people's lives. I think the idea and concept of Clark dying and Superman being alive and him having to figure that out is really interesting. It's also very morbid and dark with the execution themes, and I also find it really cute that the Kents still have Clark with them in their house, and that Ma Kent is fine. Her son's not dead. He's fine.
First of all, thank you everyone for adhering to the minute-long thing. Second, dark, give me the dark. And third, I just recently saw some meme that was like, this is the funniest shot in all the DCAU or something. It's just Ma Kent going like, oh, I guess it just hasn't settled in yet. And then it just pans over to Superman sitting there at the table like, what the fuck am I going to do? It's not played funny, but it is kind of funny.
It's a theme that I think they skirted around like really, really well, like really like masterfully. That it like can be all these themes are like really delicate. Like there's like Tip Apricot was like sort of alluding to the idea of like identity and, you know, who's real. Like I would argue that like Clark is more his main character, considering that was most of his life.
Yeah, he wants to be a person regardless of his superpowers.
Yeah.
But he just be's a superhero because it's his prerogative.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of bit in, of course, like the execution and sort of just like, you know, overarching themes of like a military state. And none of this was, I feel like, too heavy-handed in any direction.
Yeah.
They balanced it. It's such a fucking good episode.
Stan Berkowitz, my man.
Stan!
Tip Teppercut followed up with Contemplation's guest star, featuring a guest listener for the second shorter message. My sister, don't kill me, James. It's only 30 seconds. Promi.
My sister, who I watched this episode with, what did you think about the episode?
I really liked that scene with Ma Kent. I think it was really funny. And I have a close friend who loves Ma Kent, and I had to go tell him. And also, I really like Lois because I grew up with the older Superman show where she's a lot wimpier, and I really like seeing this version of her that is so, like, on top of stuff. It's fun. Yeah. I think she would eat that other Lois for breakfast.
Good. We need more guest star.
Yeah, Tip Toppercut. Way to like reel in the guests. That's awesome.
Euphonium Star Damage Report.
Oh God, where's my popcorn? I need like a beverage or okay.
This was for prototype, so it's quite the damage report.
Oh, this is for prototype.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got pile of metal scraps, brick doghouse, ambulance, Cooper Towers apartment building, bank vault wall, bank vault camera, car in warehouse, shelves, gas barrels, warehouse wall, another car, lamp, TV set, SCU building wall, Lex's office doors, battlesuit jamming device, Lex's phone, Shark Tank glass, elevator doors, desk, suitcase, windows, floor, Superman's eyeballs, wall, another wall, package truck, little yellow truck, concrete ground, LexCorp wall, danger high voltage protective glass thing, battlesuit. And I would say Corey Mills as well. Corey Mills's brain and eyes or whatever.
Holy shit.
Very good.
I don't know why. It's like, yeah, I fucking like think and or say this every time, but that's just such a like I sit back and I'm so entertained by this, but it's like
it's just a list of stuff, but it's
But it's like a play-by-play of the episode, and like somehow God, it's just beautiful. That's one of the things I look forward to.
We don't
most.
even need to watch the episode. We just get the damage report and we're done. Super Beetle says, not much to say about Prototype or Suddenly There Came a Steal, but to follow up on my comment last week, my favorite Auntie Donna skit is Roll Call. That's the one I was describing that you think you haven't seen? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Also Man Beast, also Bigoted Bill, just the best Broden skits. Anyway, thank you for your time last week and enjoy next week's quality episode. I know I will. Thanks for the clarification.
I don't know. I still think maybe my favorite Broden, I mean, it's everybody, but I think it's Broden tent as a star is the tent one's really good, but the kiln.
Oh, I don't know.
The kiln, you haven't seen the kiln one?
I don't think so.
Don't
I mean,
the
only
kiln.
ones I've seen, I think, are the ones you've shown me or one or two others. So.
Remind me to send you the kiln. It's
Okay.
a good 2-3 minute sketch.
Banana Baby, Goo Goo Gaga, translation, the late Mr. Kent. I think it's a Batman episode, personally, but I guess Brian's guess was okay. Good. Ashley Tutchin saying yeah, nah, or nah, yeah is one of the most Aussie things ever. Congratulations, Brother Brick. You may be 1/8 Australian.
Yes!
Oh, you don't have your wall of names anymore. You got to translate that to a different space now.
And the walls are painted and stuff.
Yeah, you can't write it on walls. You just got to have a little chalkboard, whiteboard, or something. No, that could get erased. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I just get
just make sure you don't cover up
frame.
all the people who we know are Australian before something happens to that spot. I don't know.
I just imagine someone going in there for the first time and Merlin or something and being what autism in comic books is Australian? What does that mean?
What the fuck is that? Yeah. This is from D Frizzle. Hey, Yoppie dudes, I finally caught up to the newest episodes.
Hey!
It's taken me roughly 2 months to get here. I'm so glad I think everyone should just start saying a fake version of how long it took them just to hear Brian go, oh no, oh my God.
What is this, episode 118, 119, something like that?
119,
we're talking 58 episodes a month?
No, it gets worse, actually, for you. I'm so glad to have hit this milestone and can't wait to see Jim Jam and Brock on this episode when I'm working. Dylan had replied, welcome to the current listener. The waits are hard and sometimes longer than expected, but the reward is, well, it's just another episode. I don't want to oversell it, but they're pretty rad. And D Frizzle said, yeah, I started in the middle of February and caught up last night during work, which worked out because I work midnights, about 10-hour shifts. So when I'm working, I can grind about 8 episodes a day.
Oh!
Stop! stop.
Also,
That's not good. That's not good for your heart.
Where exactly in America are you working that you have 10-hour shifts?
Yeah, I don't know. At least you have us constantly. I don't know, man.
Not anymore. Now it's just once a week.
We told you to stop. Yeah, not anymore.
Oh God, 10.
Listen on 0.2 times speed. So we just sound really drunk and horrible. This is from True Score. The late Mr. Kent, or damn Lois, just say you loved him. Hey, Jack the Ripper and Big Mama.
Hey.
Here's your Lego fact of the week. The only Lois Lane Lego figure we've ever gotten has been from Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, never comic or show-based. We've only got Amy Adams. Interesting. This is a peak episode. A lot of the time we get Superman depowered or weakened and then Clark having to stop the antagonist. But this time we get the opposite and it's just awesome. You don't have to be a supervillain to take on the Man of Steel. Just loved it. And now some comments from my friend who doesn't know anything about Superman and decided to sit and watch this episode with me.
Oh.
That's like, Brian, I was cracking up. Enjoy. Why does this pizza place have a storage room the size of my entire house? Why are those SD cards so big? Whoa, that shadow looks like the lieutenant guy. That's not suspicious at all.
Can we just take a pause at the SD card thing?
There's more SD card commentary. Why did the SD card get Thanos dusted? Ah, yes, the infinite water tower. Why does Lily, Lois, always wear the same stuff just in different colors? That's true. Why is Lily almost as strong as the bad guy? Why is there a military-grade helicopter with a minigun and bazooka available on a rooftop that even Lily could have gotten to? This is some Green Mile shit. Why that execution guy have a mask on? And why did Superman just smash into the room with that literal death gas with an entire room of people? Also, which one of those people was the governor? They all look like assholes. Who is this random hot chick? Lana. Lily is definitely jealous. Oh, they're just executing the cop guy too. What the fuck? Oh, that was a cool ending. How was this shown to children? Take care, boys.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want that person as a guest on the podcast.
To talk about Lily and SD cards with
hot
us.
ass commentary right there. Also, this that brought a thought back to me that I had, I think, during the show, forgot to say when we were recording with Ryan, and remembered it at the beginning of the mail and forgot to say it. So I'm going to say it right now.
Say it now, man.
Superman, he knows what's up. He's got a super suit. If he's like not expecting anything to go wrong, accidents happen. Why the fuck didn't he put that floppy disk, extra large SD card, in his Superman suit?
Oh, yeah. If it's like indestructible. Yeah.
You know?
Who knows? Whenever even when he, without a bomb in the car, when he tucked it into the sun visor, I was just like, that shit's going to fall out. That shit's going to like land on your face. Like all sorts of things could happen here. And then a bomb. Oh, that's the worst possible scenario.
I know it's like Chekhov's SD card, but all the same, you could have put it somewhere else.
Because that's 3.5. Those were 3.5 inch, I'm sure. But what was the original
5.
Like bigger size? Yeah. Okay.
Or 7? I think
I
5.
don't know. Definitely bigger. 7 sounds too big.
And those were actually floppy.
Yeah, that's
The 3.5s were rigid.
That was actually something in the episode I appreciated of the art. It was TMS, but I've talked about even like the heart monitor was really well drawn, or like the radio or the phone or some shit.
Yeah.
The computer at the pizza store was like spot on 1996 computer or whatever. It like the floppy disk drive had that little like carved out half circle indent for you to like when you can reach it and grab it back out.
It's
I was
perfect.
like, the detail, it's so good. I think the kids these days, they don't know about SD cards.
They don't know about SD cards at all. Oh my God. Okay, so I didn't know there was 8-inch floppy disks.
Like the 8-inch floppy disk probably still only had like 20 megabytes maximum on it.
No, because even a 3.5-inch was only, I think, 1.35 megabytes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So let me see if I can find the megabyte. Okay, I found that the capacity for a 5.25-inch floppy was 360 kilobytes.
Damn, man.
So I'm guessing that 8 is less than that.
Yeah.
Let's see, 8.
No, what? 8 would be more, right?
8, no, because it's older technology.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is it 50 kilobytes?
You're not far off. It's 80. 80 kilobytes on a, measuring tape. on a disk that big square.
Yeah.
80 kilobytes.
I think I've mentioned before, my dad used to be a Domino's manager. He was the guy in the episode. And like he had the company buy like brand new computers when he was the manager, and they had like 30 megabytes of space of RAM. And it was like, don't worry, you'll never need more than this. That's the beauty of it, or whatever. Like,
I know,
it's
right?
ridiculous. Yeah.
That I don't really want to date myself, but I remember, again, I'm old enough to have used floppy disks as a like means of like information transportation.
Actual
back when,
storage.
Yeah, when a megabyte was fine.
Me too, man.
And I remember being in school, and they're like, okay, everyone's got to get like these flash drives or thumb drives, whatever they're calling them back then. And I got one that was like, legitimately, it was like 16 or maybe 32 megabytes, and I was just like, "Jeez, what am I going to do with this?
How can it exist on this small of a thing?" Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm still saying that. I was shopping SD cards, new SD cards for my camera the other day, and I found that there was just over a terabyte flash or SD card, and I'm just like, that blows my mind. Like, we have to be coming to the end of that capacity, right? Like,
who knows?
what's your editing computer's hard drive storage space?
I've got 2 10 terabyte ones.
This is why I don't do video.
And they're filling up mighty fast. Yeah. Anyway, this is the last thing. Is from Mark Aquino, The Late Mr. Kent, or How to Fake Your Own Death the Kryptonian Way, or That Ending, though. This morning on Kids WB, after an attempt on his life, Superman races against time to prove the innocence of a man on death row wrongly accused of murder, even if it will cost him his life as Clark Kent. Followed by those wacky Warner siblings on an all-new Animaniacs. Hello, nurse. Going from one of the weakest episodes of STAS, I guess prototype, to what many consider to be one of the best episodes of STAS. I'm certainly one of those people who think so, as I love this episode so much. It further highlights just how great the DCAU team was at crafting stories that can appeal to all ages while still feeling mature and character-focused. Clark using his skills as a reporter to prove Ernest Walker's innocence cuts into the heart and shows just how good of a man he is. I also loved how the people in his life who know his secret, Ma and Pa Kent and Lana Lang, cover for him. One can make the argument that it comes off as too gaslighty, but I found it to be pretty funny. And the animation, oh my God, the animation, T motherfucking S. That's what the M stands for. Tokyo motherfucking Shinsha. I constantly mention how STAS tends to have a more noticeable anime look to it than BTAS does, and this episode has that in spades. The smoke effects, the way the ocean moves, the explosion shot from inside Clark's car, pure anime. You could take that shot of Clark's car driving off the cliffside road and splice it into an episode of Pokemon at the time, and no one would think twice about it. Hell, you could take that shot, loop it for an hour, lay some relaxed grooving vaporwave music under it, and it would make a killer mix one could study too.
Does this exist? Can we look this up?
Superman looping. I have thought about how I want to do one of those that's just Batman at the Bat computer. That would take a long time, but you know. That last shot is genuinely one of the darkest moments the DCAU has ever had. There are whole episodes of BTAS that don't have imagery as grim as that. Who would have thought this episode would have something in common with an old Muppets commercial from the 50s? For context, look up the YouTube Wilkins Coffee, Wilkins and Wontkins, 1957, and skip to the 4-minute mark. Yes, that's a real commercial that aired on television. Are you doing that at this time?
What? Holy shit.
What did he do?
Okay, what?
Did he like die? What's going on?
Yeah,
I can only hear this.
It's so like you got these Muppets, and it seems like their whole deal is like one of them is like a serial killer, and the other one's about to die. So like that
These
one,
Wontkins, I suppose.
I guess so. The one we were told to go to was just like basically like a dude at an electric chair, and then the other guy being like, "Well, ka-chunk," and the next one that played was like a dude like doing the James Bond, like tied up on a conveyor belt going towards a saw blade. And then, you know.
So he's just being killed in various ways?
Yeah, you don't get to see that, but you get to see the guy like, haha, guess what? He's being killed. That's intense.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for making us experience this. Yeah.
I gotta watch some more of these.
Overall, I absolutely love this episode. It's not just one of my top 5 STAS episodes, but also one of my favorite in the DCAU as a whole. It's well written, wonderfully paced, well acted, an absolute triumph. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs, the #1 podcast host in this here multiverse of ours, Just Keep Swimming, and Baldrick. Are you bald, man? Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Remember to tell Gab that she rules. Likewise to all of his loyal disciples, all the names, and all of the awesome sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours. You're all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. Looking forward to next week's episode as it features the return of a villain we haven't seen since May of last year. Here's hoping Bri can perfectly guess who that is. Till next week, big ol' whoosh. I just flew away.
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw. Dr. Bees. Have I shown you Dr. Bees?
No. Have I shown you the Kiln sketch from Auntie Donna?
No, we'll do mutual YouTube texts after the.
I love it.
I did want to say, sincerely, both of your continued kindness and patience and indulgence here today, and with the bullshit I send weekly and the bullshit I send you guys almost daily, wherever it may be, is it really does mean a lot. You two are cool. You're cool guys.
Thanks,
cool dudes.
I don't know about.
You might even say that you're
Yiddish?
Nice guys.
Oh.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Yellow?
Yellow. The yellow dello.
Don't you call me yellow.
Okay, Brian.
Hey.
Do you want to guess the show or hear the name first of the episode?
I want to hear the name first. Is it going to help?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Never Fear.
Oh. Wait. Wait, is it going to be a Sandman episode?
No. What?
Oh.
You know what? That would have been, if this was the week they were playing Spider-Man 3, this would have been a great time for me. Coincidentally, I'm seeing Spider-Man 3 tonight, but I'm not. I'm seeing Spider-Man 2 tonight. So.
Shit.
Oh, that's still good. That's still good.
Okay, so wait, what did I say?
Why? You said Sandman.
I meant Scarecrow.
Is your brain melting that much? I was trying to find the connection between Fear and Sandman.
It has been just so many weeks, and I have been feeling so fucking burned out now. So yeah, my brain, I don't know. I've been watching it misfiring lately, and as if I was driving some breaking down vehicle from the driver's seat, just going, oh, that's probably bad.
I can't do anything about that right now.
I was hoping you were going to say you were just watching your brain. It's off in a little dish, like Paul Walker's brain and Tammy and the T-Rex. That landed not at all. With no one.
It took 2 seconds for me to even remember what that movie was, so thank you.
So let's just pretend I didn't say fucking Sandman and instead I meant Scarecrow.
It's an episode of Sandman.
Yes, it's Scarecrow. You're correct. What's Scarecrow doing?
Yay! I'm fucking up the day.
That's correct.
How'd you do it? How do you do it, man?
Man,
Brian won Supermarket Sweep.
That deodorant is $2.99.
Well, Brian, we have 5 more episodes till 1998 and 9 more episodes till the next movie.
Whoa.
Okay, so the movie will be in 1998.
Yeah.
What movie came out in 1998 is right fucking behind me. Get ready, Brian. You'll be watching Quest for Camelot on Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
You know what? I'm game. Why not?
I technically have Space Jam 2 on the list of stuff for us to watch because it has a tiny cameo of the DCAU Justice League in it. And so what if Quest for Camelot just had a Batman poster or something as an Easter egg somewhere? We have to watch it.
The Justice League is in Space Jam?
Space Jam 2. When we get to that point, I'll decide whether or not we actually watch that. We may be so burnt out because it'll be everything else has already happened. And then we'll just be do we really end this podcast with Space Jam 2, or do we just...
You're so burned out right now. This is the last episode, everybody. This is the series finale.
This was the end, for real, yeah.
When I said that the voice messages were culminating here, I was talking about the whole show. This is the end.
Ryan's actually been sitting in a getaway copter this whole time, aiming the guns at us. So whenever we hang up, we're gone for good. That is the end of this episode, anyway. Ryan, do you have any final thoughts?
This is one of the greatest things ever made by humans.
You, Ryan?
I won't. Yes, me. This episode, the podcast ? Up for debate.
Good. Yes.
No, not this.
Yes.
But yes, this is neat. Oh, and let me finish off the thing. Okay.
Yeah, finish the.
All right. Thank you, Big Pussy. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having us. And until next time, do us a favor, all right? Don't forget us, and we won't forget you. Good night.
All right, cool. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you again, truly, for doing this. This is hopefully it didn't suck too bad.
No, honestly, went just about as good as any other podcast.
How did he survive that car bomb? How? He's Superman.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, Brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Timm Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.